afternoon, good morning, whatever, however you all are. Welcome to Clobby's Comic Shop. Guys, I know it's a weird time. I know. It's not lost on me what's going on. The visual of the earlier show. It's a thing. It's real. It's happening. But we're here and we're doing it live, and better a show than no show. So even if it's quite a few hours earlier than what we normally do. So as I had stated before, I'm doing this other show because I got to drive up to Milwaukee tonight. Should be with gas, probably 2-hour drive. And I got to meet up with my guys for the Milwaukee Metal Fest I'm doing tomorrow because they're there for the entire weekend. I'm just doing tomorrow. And I want to get a head start and hang out with the boys tonight. So I want to at least have something for you guys. So for those of you who work second shift and you're still working, hopefully you can just catch the replay and enjoy a nice, smaller, shorter show. Because better to have something than nothing. And not just something that's lesser, but just something equal to what you normally get, just a little bit less of that greatness. So what's up, D-Bud? Martin says, weird time. True. I just made it home into, dude, I got lucky with you then. I see FKHC 2005. You and Clobby did the hearts for Clobby. I love to see that. Yeah, I shot the link to the dudes. We'll see if they show up. If they don't, no. If they don't, they don't. So I'll just have fun with the show then for an hour. If any of them pops all up on in here, if they forgot, well, whatever. So big comic week in more ways than one. What's up, Jonathan Conroy? There was a Huck finally returned to the masses, which we'll definitely get into a little bit of that. Invincible kind of came back with Battle Beast, very popular character from the Invincible series, the comic book series, and of course the animated TV show as well. Got lucky with me. Don't tell Gary. He'll be jealous. It's his birthday today, Oh, that backdoor Gary. Oh, man. Gary. Backdoor Gary. Oh, man. Yeah, it seems like also we got our boy Mark, who's going to have some big Mark announcements. I'm like, whoa. I wonder if he's going to announce things with books and with shows, because why the hell not? You got to have both. So yeah, Huck came back. Battle Beast is here. Aquaman is actually kicking ass and taking names. Jeremy Adams said, it was basically imagine if Aquaman was basically being a little bit more of an alpha savage this time around, while still being a regal king. And he is alpha as fuck. Holy shitteroni. I love to see it. I love to see it. So I just want to say, going into Huck, big bad world, and I don't know if I'll have any chance to speak a little with the guys, but I'm going to speak out now because I don't got much time, and I want to make my time good and useful with Huck. So Mark Miller maintained Raphael Albuquerque, who did the pencils on the previous Huck story. Now, if I remember correctly, I think Clobby had some of the black and whites. I don't know if it was an art book or something, but he had some of the black and whites of Raphael Albuquerque's art from the original Huck series. And this one really rings near and dear to me because it was a very different story, one, from Mark, but also, two, it leans in on his passion for Superman. And me being a Superman fan and having someone who, from what I've heard, he was not a fan of what was done with Zack Snyder and Man of Steel, that him doing Huck may or may not have been a response. I don't know if there's true merit to that, but he wrote Huck as his way of, I'm going to do my own Superman archetype story. And he responded. And I really like that first arc a lot. It's something we covered here on the show. Clobby is a big fan. And having this first issue was so crazy because it feels like it just picks up a little bit after where Big Game ends up, but you don't have to have read Big Game in order to get into it. Raphael Albuquerque's art, by the way, is just as good the first time, maybe even better. Holy, maybe even better. Like, he shines, man. He's got the same colors involved too. I think it's Dave McCaig. I apologize for butchering the name, but he got a lot of the band back together, which is cool. And key characters from the first book are back in the sequel, and there is threads that are being set up, of course, for what looks to be a mystery that ties to his mom. And you're like, ooh, no, what's going on here? And meanwhile, while those seeds are being planted, we're seeing our boy Huck being the most heartwarming, like wholesome dude on the planet. This is like Bluey for adults. You just see this kid and you just want to root for him and cheer him on. He's one of those characters you're like, I want to be a guy like that. Huck is so giving and heartwarming and heartfelt in this story. And then there's something that happens. And it's one of those things where it's not even the worst thing in the world. Like anyone, it's not even close to it. Not even close. But it's one of those things because we see how it affects Huck. And because it affects him, we feel that hurt so much more through him in that story. And I felt that hurt with him. And I'm like, damn, Mark, you have a nice heartwarming story. And then are you giving me heartbreak before and then you put the pieces back together and then it's happily ever after? He's probably doing that. He has a good way of knowing how to fiddle around with our hearts. I mean, Jack Kirby did say comics will break your heart. And I think he's trying to break our hearts a little bit before he sews it all back together. But really, really strong first issue. I was really impressed with this story, and I can't wait to see where the next 5 issues go of Huck, Big Bad World. Once again, Raphael's killing it. It feels like I just read these characters like yesterday from when I read the previous series. I'm so happy that we got this. I'm really happy we got this. And now I've been like, holy crap, like it's really reality. It really is. And I even picked up 2 copies. I might even ship a copy to one of my newer Dolph Lundgren members because there's been a few Dolph Lundgren signees lately. I think I should send them a little wholesomeness of Huck. I think that would be a good way to really, make them stay a huge member on the same by giving them the gift of our wholesome one who rocks a jean jacket that has the 78 on the back because of 1978 from Superman the movie. I see Subhuman 84. What's up, dude? So I'm just now getting into the Invincible comics. Nice. Like Clobby before me, I never finished it. I think I may have dropped off a little sooner than him. I think. I'm not honestly really sure of where I was, and I can't remember why I stopped. But I'll tell you what, man, with Battle Beast, we'll get into that shortly. D-Butts, I read Huck after you talked about this new series coming out. I like it. Nice, dude. Yeah. Big Bad World #1 is good. It's good. Along with Conan the Barbarian, man, you got something else to look forward to and enjoy. It is definitely it feels like right now we're on the path to the right story to build up this character, his cast, his particular corner of Millerworld. So I'm really, really happy with where this is going. And man, I'm just can imagine somewhere down the line if in an idealized world where there's a Huck series, show, movie. Me personally, I would prefer animation, whether it's a show or movie. I think Huck's one of those characters I feel like he can get away with both. I feel like he's one of those characters who kind of could benefit from it either way. But regardless, for me, my ideal Huck story would be animation. And if they could try to do their absolute closest to be as true to Raphael Albuquerque's art in the book, not necessarily a deal breaker for me, but would it be cool if they did that? Because I know the Invincible, they kind of leaned a little bit on some of what Corey Walker was doing, the original Invincible artist, for the animation style, which I thought was really commendable. Because you don't have to do that, but is it cool when you do it? You're damn right it is. I would love that if it was an animation. And I don't know who I'd play Huck. I don't know who. I'd have to think a little extensively about it. But man, I would love to see a very faithfully done tale of this. I want this. I want this on a screen. And if it never does, doesn't change how much I love it any less, because this is a great series, and I'm so glad we actually got a sequel. I was actually gonna get concerned we were never gonna get a sequel. I wanted to like message Mark, like, Mark, where is it? Where is it? Why aren't you telling me about my Hawk sequel? Why? But I talked to Caster about it, and Caster briefly is like, we do not deserve men like Huck in our world. And I'm like, yeah, dude, this one packs a damn punch, man. And it's just the first damn issue. That's crazy, bro. The first damn issue, and you're putting me through the ringer like that. Oh boy. We're in for a journey, guys. We're in for a journey. Let's get into Battle Beast. I'll talk a little bit about Battle Beast now that we're transitioning. We always transition. Battle Beast is strong. Oh, dude. No, Battle Beast is a slobber knocker of a comic. So if you know the Invincible comic, or hell, even if you know the Invincible show, you're going to enjoy this comic. It is a festival of absolute brutality. And there's an intriguing idea of where the story can go and why Battle Beast has his own ongoing series. And it's like, oh, that's actually a really fitting idea. I like that idea. It's something that really adds to his nobility of a character. Battle Beast is a guy who really wants to find the absolute best fighter out there. He comes from a land of fighting, and he wants to find someone who is not his equal, but his superior. And that's freaking bold, man. That's bold. And you got the band back together with Robert Kirkman, Ryan Otley, and Ryan Otley did not skip a beat. Holy shit. I think they had different colorists, Annalisa Leone. I do like what she has. She definitely complements Otley's style. And oh, dude, this book is seriously like it is definitely it's on a level of like Conan levels of brutality, but with Battle Beast instead. It is awesome. And even though it's a $4 issue, it's like 32 pages of story. No ads. And they had a cool thing that Kirkman did where he did a blind bag purchase, and you didn't have to pay like extra price. It was just like standard pricing, $4. So it goes to show you, guys like Kirkman, even with all the fame he's achieved, he still really loves and cares about the medium of comics to do this special thing to promote Battle Beast. What's up, Deeple 101? Ahoy all, show didn't pop up. The channel wasn't on as live yet. Yeah, dude, YouTube has been fucking up lately. I'm gonna go on a tangent about that and we'll get back to Battle Beast, I promise. For the first time ever, I know I hear all the time about how people don't get notifications for the live streams, the videos. I hear about all the time from my channel, and I always hear people, oh yeah, I get it for Comic Division, Midnight's Edge, Neurotic, yada yada. And I'm one of those guys where I still always get them until this week. This is the first week where I was not getting those things. I'm like, what the hell's going on? YouTube is doing whatever, who knows whatever it is, it's worse than ever that people who usually do get notifications aren't even getting notifications. Go back to any of the streams. You will see I've been very consistent in being one of the exceptions to saying I still get the notifications. Then D-Day happened this week. I was like, bro, what? And I'm definitely seeing the effect it's having on a lot of my friends' channels. I look at my peers, my friends. I'm like, damn, that sucks. Like, you want to see your buddies succeed, but man, it's unfortunate. This is why I really, really stress that. I know it's nice to have notifications. It's nice to get that convenience, but I really do stress each and every one of you do manually go to their page and check and see just in case, because I'm learning like we can't get reliant on the notification bell. As dumb as that is, we should be able to get what we sign up for, but it's not doing that. So all I can just say is, like, guys, just like pick your top 5, 6 channels and just check those pages manually all the time. Just, look them up, type their name, and go on their avatar, and then go through their videos and streams list. And I know it's not the most ideal situation, but YouTube is just doing that. Me, I don't really personally complain about that stuff for my channel as much as I used to. But for my friends, where they're a little bit more reliant on that money to get by, it sucks to see. Me, I kind of let it slide off my back. Now, I used to be a lot more angsty about it, but I've let it slid off my back. What's up, Stephen M. Kellall? How you doing, buddy? So hello, everyone. So I'm like, dude, don't worry about it, man. I know all the shit with the bells and late notifications. It's insane. But anyways, let's move on from that. Let's move on from that tangent. Battle Beast. He is on an adventure. He has a very bold declaration he's making. He has a very particular motivation for this, and the fact that he really wants to seek this type of thing out. And he goes to some pretty wide lengths to find competition. And competition shows up, and it gets crazy. Crazy. Oh, does it get crazy? And you're thinking, this is just the first issue. First issue, lots of story, lots of great Ryan Ottley art. I was really satisfied with this issue. I was very shocked how much I enjoyed Battle Beast. And I think it really worked out that it was Kirkman and Ottley doing it, having the actual creative team from the Invincible comic do this. I wouldn't have it any other way. Granted, there have been art creators who've worked on these characters. Sanita Moreno, he did God, what's her name? Redhead girl. Why isn't Adam Eve? He did her miniseries, but something just feels right about Ryan Ottley doing the art, considering Invincible is known for its brutality, and to have Battle Beast be a character who's very vicious in nature, and then to have that brutality be translated onto the page, hand and glove fit, man. Hand and glove fit. Are going to be short stay for me. Got D&D tonight. Take care. Catch you. Awesome, Deeple. He also said, drive safe to Milwaukee or wherever you're going tonight. Toodles. Thank you, Deeple. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to Milwaukee. It's going to be great. Going to be meeting with a few of my Chicago buddies up there tonight. They're already there. They're doing the first day of the Milwaukee Metal Fest, and they're having a good time. I can't wait because they already know they got to go back to their hotel. I'm going to pick them up right around when the last band's playing. I think we're going to go to the Rock and Brew restaurant tonight. We're supposed to go to the Rock and Brew. If not tonight, I think tomorrow. But I think we're going to do it tonight. It's this place called Rock and Brew. And they have the Alice Cooper Poison Burger. And if you know, obviously, I like me some Alice Cooper. And you know what? I was like, ooh, Alice Cooper Poison Burger? Awesome. Because I want that. And that's obviously based off the great song, Poison. Bro, come on. I got to have that. So it's still a thing. And I really got to have this burger. And it looks like participant. Oh, Rock and Brew goes around the country. Okay, I'm looking at it right now. Okay, yeah, Alice Cooper plus Rock and Brew's Lodge Poison Burger. Oh, man, yeah, guys. Seriously. Yeah, the song Poison, memorable song. One of my favorite songs from the Trash album. So good. I'm currently rereading the Clone Saga. It's a bit of a drag, but there's some good. Are you reading the original one, or are you rereading the 90s one? The original one, I kind of like the original one, but I'm not so wild about the later one. The later one that came in the 90s with Ben Riley. Now, I am aware it has its fans. That I have met them, I have, but I like the original story involving Miles Warren. That one I like. But you know what? Let's look at some food real quick, and then we'll get back into some more comics, okay? let's get back in. He's reading that. Okay. No, hey, maybe I'll have to give that a swing. I've never been a Ben Riley guy. He's never a character that's really resonated with me. But hey, if you're enjoying it, don't let what I say take it away from you, man. What I say ultimately doesn't matter if you're enjoying it. So Alice Cooper's Poison Burger, brioche bun, pepper cheese spread, Reaper Ranch. Holy shit. Fresh fried jalapeno, crispy onion strings, Alice Cooper poison sauce. Oh, man. This looks good. It looks damn good. I think if it were up to me, we should go tonight to have this because in case this fills my ass up and puts me in a damn food coma, the last thing I want to do is start off my afternoon having a delicious gargantuan food coma type of burger and then go to a fest where there's 20 some bands playing and I want to catch at least 10, 11 of them and I gotta make it through, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 hours of live music. I think Rock and Brew should be done tonight. That's just my take on it, though. What's up, Muhammad say? So I got a Giant X-Men issue 1. Now I have Fantastic Four issue 1 to 5 facsimile. Hail, do you see comic book boy issue I've read this week? I have. I saw it very vaguely. I didn't even get to really look at your photos, but I did see that you were tagging me for stuff. I apologize for not being as responsive lately. I've had a very stacked deck. Not a bad deck, might I add you. It's been a fairly good deck. But I've just been having a very busy deck. But please keep tagging me, Tim. I don't mind at all. I love it, if anything, when you do it. So please don't stop tagging me. I like it. I like it a lot. Anyways, burgers. Burger. I like Milwaukee. They got cheese curds, beer, pizza. Yeah, I said that. Pizza, burgers. I mean, it's a burger yet, but I already know it's good. You don't have to convince me that this is already great. You can't just look at it. Come on. I mean, like Christian Bale now. Come on. Where is your burger? Where's your burger? All right, let's bring that burger down. Up. That burger looks awesome. Okay, that burger. Yeah, I know. It looks awesome. It looks delicious. Battle Beast is a big recommend. Like Huck Big Bad World before it, it is awesome. And there is a reason for this series to be a thing. And it's one of those characters where, once again, I've always said if you're going to have like a side character have his own series, it should be a character that people respond to. And people have responded to Battle Beast, whether it's when the Invincible comics were new or when the show has been running, especially in season 1 when he arrived and beat the shit out of Mark Grayson. A lot of people are really raving about Battle Beast. He's a character that people really like. When you have a character like that, you want to lean in on that market. And someone looked at that like, hey, why aren't we doing something here? Sure, the Invincible comic series is done, but why not do something with Battle Beast here? Hell yeah. Good thinking and marketing on that. And I applaud Kirkman between what he's doing here. He's one of those guys where he does 2 books at a time. He's writing this Void Rivals for the Energon universe. He's killing it with both books. He still clearly loves comics, and it shows. Preceding this, he was doing Firepower as well. I'm liking that he also had Oblivion Song. I didn't read that, but I know once again it definitely had its fans. And of course, prior to that, The Walking Dead, Invincible, a lot of cool shit. And Jennifer Grover, for Canadian $2, says, "Hey, darling, hello, Jennifer. How you doing? Thanks for dropping in. I hope you're having a good, solid Friday night. Cheers to you, Jennifer. Thank you." Days of Future Past was shorter than I thought. You know what, Mohammed? Let's talk about that. This is something I've talked to a lot of my friends in the comics fair on YouTube, a lot of my peers, guys like Eric O'Sullivan, J-Man. I've had this conversation with a lot of them, and we've talked about like stories and the length, the pacing of them, and Days of Future Past is considered to be like a essential X-Men story, one of the all-time greats, the big one, the head honcho, and yet it's only 2 issues. Not every story needs to be several hundred issues. Don't get me wrong. I love them. As I say historically on here 100,000 times over, there was a time and a place for it. But it doesn't need to be this one size fits all where we make it be that way for every single story. So lo and behold, we have Days of Future Past being that. And this was also at a time, too, when that was coming out. And that was at a time where it was about, comics being the monthly format, being the format. Nowadays, a lot of the writers, even the good ones, they're all writing for the trade. It's probably a requirement deal. I don't know. That's my theory on it because all the stories do feel a little drawn out. Once again, even the good ones. Some guys can make that work and make it not feel drawn out. Some guys, well, their decompressed writing style feels drawn out and it shows. So once again, some guys it works for, like Jim Zub kills it with Conan with the 4-issue arc. I feel like 4 is a really strong meaning for that. And Conan, he's always on a journey. So in a way, it kind of feels like it's like one big arc if you think about it more loosely, even though it's not. That's oversimplifying it because each adventure has different ladies he wants to bang, different people he needs to kill, different geographical territories. I like, most of my, they're writing Netflix pitches. That's the thing. They're writing Netflix pitches. Then because a lot of these people have no business being in the industry and they're trying to use comics as a stepping stone to get into like Netflix and shit like that because they saw what happened with Mark Miller. And they're like, oh, well, I want that. I want that. I want that. Well, you don't just get it just because you exist. And, and that's once again what happens where Mark wasn't writing those things because, man, this has to be a story someday. Now, obviously, a lot of his stuff has been optioned for shows and movies throughout the years. And he'll pitch the idea. But when he writes his stories, he has the comics in mind, not how do I adjust this so it fits on TV. He writes for the comic first. And, if it gets optioned for a show or a movie, fantastic. Because a lot of these guys, you can see the stories, they're very limited, like a lot of serialized shows. Very minimal settings, minimal characters, really dark, lack of color, all sorts of those little Netflix type of tropes that they got going. Once again, I know there's exceptions to the rule, but that's exactly it. Exceptions. These writers just want to get in to the Hollywood industry. They have no business being comics. But luckily, and it's something I talked to my comic shop guy a few days ago about. We talked. It feels like we're starting to see a little bit less of those Johnny come latelys, and that's good. This is like shoo, fucking scram. We don't need you here. We don't want you here. You never had a place when all you're trying to do is use this as a piggybacking for your own personal motives. If your own motives was to, I don't know, be a successful writer, have cool stories that people like, okay, great, whatever. But you're doing this because you want to cross over into another industry. It reminds me of the time when, I don't know if you guys were watching WWE at the time. It was, I think, near the end of the Attitude Era. They had this reality show called Tough Enough. It was where they can try to get a superstars, make superstars out of random people, like a tryout for it. And there's this one girl who's on there. She's like, oh, I don't really actually like wrestling. I'm actually just trying to get into Playboy, and I'm trying to use this as a stepping stone. No, I'll give her credit for being direct and honest, but also she really showed herself earlier on, like, you're in the wrong business if you're trying to do that. And why I mention it is because at the time there was a few of those ladies who were, posing in that magazine. And it was one of those things that it sold really well when you had WWE Diva put her on the magazine, sales boom, yada yada, capitalism prevails, cool, great, awesome. And those ladies had it happen because it just happened by chance. Whereas this lady was explicitly saying, I'm trying to use this as a platform for another. And now we're seeing that on a much, much, much more far grander scale with these mean girls and soy boys. And they want the comics to be their way to getting in through other means. Fuck all of you. Was that an Eagles reference? No, the band Eagles. No, it was not. No, no, it was not a reference to Eagles. That was just chance, really. I like the Eagles actually. I wouldn't say I'm like huge on, but I like them. My only problem is I've only heard one full album. I liked it. It was called Hotel California. I liked a lot of the songs that were on there. I thought the production was cool. Had a lot of memorable hooks. I gotta listen to more albums, so maybe one day I will. You should listen on the way to Milwaukee. Well, see, I still need to listen to my Razor Fist Shadowcast episode where he talks about the Shadow 1941. If you guys haven't read the Shadow 1941, you should, because it's a great historical story, obviously involving Lamont Cranston. It involves Adolf Hitler, his right hand man, the Nazis, and all. It's an awesome story. You got Denny O'Neil writing, Vinny Colaiuta on art, dude. Just saying, Denny O'Neil, Vinny Colaiuta, that's a great creative team, man. Very great creative team. And he did an episode on that for his Shadowcast. And I'm like, it's about bloody time you're doing that. So I might listen a little bit of that. And then maybe put on a few albums from some of the bands I'll be seeing at Milwaukee Metal Fest. But I want to get back into comics. And maybe for the last 10 minutes, I'll maybe talk a little bit about Milwaukee and the Metal Fest. Even though you guys seem to be okay with me talking about those, it's like there's no objections. If someone literally said get back to comics, I wouldn't blame you because I advertise as a comic show, so I should probably live up to being a comic show. So I freaking get it, man. I absolutely get it. So Huck Big Bad World. What's up, Dave C? Battle Beast Killers. Aquaman kills, Flash Gordon kills, Transformers kills. See, I was hoping to talk about Transformers with Caster, but Caster's not around. Maybe I'll save that for next week. We'll see. But I'll tell you what, though. Well, one quick thing about Transformers. Megatron unleashed hell hath no fury like I had never seen. Granted, I've only been Transformers for a year and a half. Like I have never seen before. Starscream is Megatron's bitch. Holy damn. They like to use that line, who hurt you? I know who hurt Megatron. I know exactly who hurt Megatron. And he is responding in a big way. How you doing, Dave C? Nice to see you, man. Nice to see you, Dave C. My guy, Dave. Shout out to Dave C. See, no alcohol tonight. I said no alcohol because I got a drive layer. So sticking to my guns on that. No alcohol until I'm on foot in Milwaukee. No alcohol. See, I can be a good boy too when I need to be. You gotta believe in yourself. Oh, okay. Anyways, yeah, it was a really good week. I finally also caught up on my as far as other reading. My Savage Sword, Roy Thomas and Roberto De La Torre. Oh man, smoking! Like, holy smokes, good. D-Bud, did you read Savage Sword? I know you're still there in chat. Did you read Savage Sword number 7? If not, you gotta fix that. Because Savage Sword number 7 was killer. And seeing Roberto's art in black and white, raw, primal black and white, I felt the grit and the grime reading this issue. I was like, man, this is crazy how different his art is, and yet still equally as great when you have the colorful in the mix. Him in primal black and white is just, there's something about that, man. It hits very differently. I know that term hits differently has become like a very cliche thing lately, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but Diva, dude, please like go on mycomicshop.com and order Savage Sword of Conan. And Roy Thomas, I mean, once again, it's like he just wrote Conan yesterday. That's no shock at all. It's really no shock. But I really enjoyed that story. I was like, okay, this is fucking awesome. I like this. I really like this. And yes, Subhuman, you're gonna have to build up to the Megatron appearance as well. Yeah, it was well done. It was a long way, got teased with it in the Cobra Commander miniseries. And then we started getting subtle hints on it throughout Void Rivals, G.I. Joe, Transformers. And now the last few issues have really shown him, and man, he truly is a force to be reckoned with. And I am hearing him in that 80s cartoon voice that a lot of people affiliate the character with. So I'm loving where Megatron is absolutely going. I am enjoying it. Roy Thomas has written way more Conan than already are. Yeah, that's a fact. He has so much of it. So much of it. Seriously. And man still got it. And I could explain why. Because he's just done so much of the Barbarian, of the Chimerian. And he's just like, oh, hey, you need me to write more Conan? Oh, here's this idea. Actually, I thought of it in 1981. I just never got to do it. We'll just do it now, 40 years later. Yeah, Savage Sword, number 7, absolutely killer. Really happy that Geiger also was really good. Gary Frank's art is amazing. Seriously, Jeff Johns knows how to pick them. He really does. And Gary Frank, he's synonymous with a lot of great DC stories. Some not so good ones, but for the great ones, he's always had good art. Always. Whether you agree or don't agree on Jeff Johns, he's always had good talent. Ivan Rice, Jason Fabik. He's just got all the talent, Jeff Johns. And Gary Frank is really killing it. And I like seeing where Geiger is going. I like seeing Tariq Geiger in a really difficult tug of war type of position. And I'm just like, hot damn, this is good. And then on the Comics Guild, because me and my buddy Wes from Thinking Critical, we do the Comics Guild on his Patreon. We just wrapped up talking about Sleeper. Sleeper is a 2-volume, 24-issue series. It's 1 through 12, then season 2, 1 through 12 again. This was during the DC Wildstorm universe. And this was Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. Obviously, they're a creative duo that like to work together a lot. You always had that writer and that penciler who kind of become very synonymous with each other. Jeff Johns and Gary Frank, Chuck Dixon and Graham Nolan. Obviously, now you got this right here. You could even say Matt Wagner and Kelly Jones. You have so many pairings that are like, oh, hand and glove fit. Okay, great. Get it, got it, good. I love it. And, man, oh, God, what, my brain just like fucking blanked out at me. Oh, Sleeper. If you're into really crazy criminal, conspiratorial, Illuminati type of stuff, dude, Sleeper is one of those stories where it will make you look at the world differently. It'll be like your wife can say, "Hey, sweetheart, I brought you dinner. Did you bring me dinner? Or you make me think you brought me dinner and you're trying to kill me." Dude, Sleeper hits on so many visceral levels. It's not like a gore story. It's actually not. It's a crime drama, a really well written crime drama, and there's so many twists and turns, so many of them. And Sean Phillips, he's a solid artist. He's not overly flashy. He's not someone who's trying to get really showing off. He's not trying to do splash pages and statue poses. He's there to serve Ed Brubaker's story. And sometimes that's okay. Sometimes you just got to be the guy who's there to be the complement to the writer. And that's what he does. And maybe that's could be why they work so well together. They're just those guys where I understand this guy, he understands me. We just keep on working together. And I know that they have a show coming out on a series later this year called Criminal. I never read Criminal. I know that was a imprint creator-owned series that moved over to Image. But as far as Sleeper goes, I could not recommend Sleeper enough. And I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And usually, I like my stories where there's at least one full on hero. Crime dramas or mafia dramas, I can always make an exception because even though none of those guys are really good guys, there's always some likable charms to them that still kind of make you root for them, even though it's in a world written by crime and it's criminal versus criminal. There's a little bit of that in Sleeper. Little bit of that. And and this is another thing too. Now that we finished Sleeper, I wish Clobby was still alive with us because I would like to know his feelings if he found out I was going to finally start reading Exo Manowar from Valiant. Because I know Clobby was a big Valiant guy. He is a big Valiant guy. And Wes is a big Valiant guy. Like, probably even more than he is old school Marvel. I would have to, if I had to guess, Wes's favorite companies overall, probably DC first, then probably Valiant, and then Marvel or Image Marvel, whatever order you want to put it. But he's a Valiant guy. He loves Valiant. I am aware they know Valiant had their audience, in the 90s. It seems like a lot of people who were maybe getting displeased with DC and Marvel kind of went over to Image, Dark Horse, Valiant, broke off elsewhere into the abyss. But we're going to be starting XL Manowar. And I'm excited about it because I've never read a Valiant comic in my life. And as far as I'm aware, we're supposed to be reading good Valiant because like Clobby before him, he is aware of Valiant the before times versus Valiant the current times, which unfortunately it seems like Valiant fell victim to a lot of the same things, if you will, that a lot of other industries did, which funny how that happens, man. You try to like run away from it. It's just like it keeps on hunting after you. Like, get the fuck away from me. I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask for this. I didn't want this. I'm excited about Exo Man of War. I know nothing about it. I'm going full on normie for it. And that's what's up. And that's what's up. Okay. We're going to talk about Superman. I didn't remember, man, 43 minutes already. It flew by, guys. Man, time flies when you're having fun. It shows you I can do a solo stream. See that? We'll get them solo streams. You know what? We'll talk a little bit about the Superman trailer. Why? We'll talk a little bit, not too extensively. I'm hoping it's good, and I want to see where you guys are at in the chat as far as your interest in it. I want to know what are your guys' thoughts. Are you gonna see it right away? Are you waiting to hear what others say? Are you waiting for us to, walk the minefield, if you will? What are your guys' thoughts? Because for me, I want this to be good. I'm seeing opening night. I know me, Tom, Price, probably Script Doctor. We'll talk about it right away when it comes out. We hope we like it. I want to like it, but man, I'm going to be so mad if it's not good. I know Comics and I on TNT, we talked about the movie and the trailer. And one of our discussions was about how the movie needs to be a 10 out of 10. And I said I disagreed on that comment, that this movie needs to be a 10 out of 10 in order to succeed. To me, a 10 out of 10 is like a lightning in a bottle movie. A 10 out of 10 is like the absolute best of the best of the best of the best. And even if Superman is good, hell, even if Superman is great, I see it at best being an 8.2 out of 10. That would be the equivalent of someone saying 4 stars out of 5 type of thing. I don't think we're in a realistic world. Even if we took away all the stuff with The Message and the obsession of milking franchises, lightning in a bottle is so rare. It's not just something you can just do twice. It really is not. And I say this with absolute sincerity towards anyone working on a Superman movie. It's just not possible to do that. I feel like, can this movie do well if it's like an 8 out of 10 movie? At least that general consensus is an 8 out of 10 around it. Yes. I disagree with comics on the thought of it needing to be a 10 out of 10. I really don't like that thought because to me, that's one thing that I feel like that's a bit unrealistic. I'm sure we'll have many more conversations on that. But I feel like this movie needs to be a strong 8 out of 10 while being a Superman movie. not Superman and Friends, not Justice League International featuring Superman, a Superman movie. That's going to be the big one. And right away, I'm saying the mixed thoughts in the chat side, which is good. I like seeing the discussion. I'm going to read your guys' comments. D-But said, I feel better about the movie at this last show. It's much better than the other one. Hey, no, that's where I'm at. Steven Epps, I was disappointed by what I saw in the trailer. The way he answered Lois's interview questions was the most un-Superman-like way he could have handled them, unless there's context for that scene. I like how you added those words, unless there's context for that scene. There may be, there may not be. Here's my perspective on it, Steven. I don't know if you caught. We talked about it a little bit last night at Midnight's Edge. So you got to remember, Lois Lane is a very hard, tough reporter. She's going to ask the tough questions, and she doesn't hold back. When it comes to her job, she is the job. There's Lois Lane, the lover, and then there's Lois Lane. I'm at work, Lois Lane. And at that moment, she was Lois Lane, the worker. Superman, Clark Kent, the man she likes. There are no favorites. And even if it's someone who she's in, a romantic relationship with, there's no favorites. She's going to ask hard questions no matter what. I mean, God, real life reporters can learn to her finger 900 from that. And you got to remember, these two are in a private moment, even though it's being recorded to maybe be put out in public. When you hear people talk about you, it's easier to, let's just say, brush it off your back. It's kind of like the whole, no, get off my back. But when you hear from someone that you have feelings towards, feel very fondly of, I truly believe it's going to hit a little differently. It's going to hit a little differently. And I feel like that was what I was getting out of that. As Superman is hearing it from Lois, not the news, not random people who are always going to be mad no matter what he does. This is the one he cares about the most. And he's hearing it from her. He was probably expecting a softball festival of questions. He was feeling good, living in the moment, stopping wars from happening, saving actual lives. I was okay with that scene. Have we had moments where Lois was doing her job, asking tough questions? Yes. Do I feel like Superman has also the right to vent in private with her? Yes. Could it always be erased? Yes. I feel like if Superman were in public before a public crowd, let's just say with the cameras rolling, I truly believe this Superman would carry himself a bit differently because he knows he has an image to maintain and an example to set. But with Lois, you can act a little different. That's what I was getting out of that. So it's then the Superman. I don't feel like he needs a PR firm to help him. I think he was just caught off guard, blindsided, completely blindsided. And you got to remember, Superman is a very caring man. And once again, when you're hearing it from someone like that, who you're expecting softball questions from, it's gonna, come out of nowhere in left field for you. And we also don't know how many buttons she pushes too. We may have only seen a few easier questions. She may go even harder. And I'll let a man vent. A man is allowed to vent, especially if they're in private. It can always be deleted. It can always be deleted. Who knows? And also, too, even though he's venting to her, it doesn't mean she's going to put out the audio of the conversation. She's going to probably put out the words in print, whether, that's digital or an actual physical newspaper. So we don't hear, the world's not going to know Superman got mad. She knows he got mad in private. Could I be overthinking this all? Yeah. But I also try to look at these things for what is and not trying to micromanage every detail and try to turn it into every worst thing. Now, if this movie ends up blowing it, if the scene ends up being a shit show, I will still say so. I will say, you know what? Stephen M. Callell, that man had a point. It didn't work now that we know the whole picture. But where we're at right now, I have other skepticisms. That scene is absolutely not one of them. That scene is not one of them. I'm still concerned about the Superman and Friends scene. I don't need a team-up movie, especially when you see some of the ads people are using. the amount of villains and the amount of heroes. And like in my mind, that's not really reassuring. That part I don't like. I don't need that out of a Superman movie. Depends on how this movie starts. Yeah. Oh, and I know that's funny when I mention it. I think opening weekend, I think it's going to hit at least 100 million. I think at least 100 million. I believe that there's enough Superman fans, enough DC fans that it's going to hit 100 million opening weekend. Could it go much higher? Maybe. I don't see it that way, but I think 100 million is a very realistic number. And then it's going to need some strong legs. Like, I don't know if it'll have like Sinners like legs if it's, let's just say, well received, but it needs to have legs. However strong they may be, it needs to have legs. Otherwise, what's the point? What's the damn point? And Super Subhuman says, I just want Superman to save people five. And that's the one of the best parts about this trailer. You see him save people. You see him save a lot of people. And you can tell he's going to get into fights with bad guys. So we don't have to worry about that with the movie. It's things like we're going to get at the very minimum a bit of a fix from those things. And I don't know why that's not standard. That should be a simple ask, not a we're demanding this. That should be required with Superman stories. I love how this movie looks more comic booky than the last, not just last few Superman movies, but the last several DC movies as a whole. I feel like, okay, we're getting comic booky. Good. I am tired of this whole that can't work for a movie. Bullshit. This can work. You just gotta say, hey, listen, we made people believe a man can fly. Let's not make people believe a man could fight a giant kaiju monster and it invading our world, and this guy comes over and saves us all from that creature. It can be done. I'm looking at this like I'm looking at a personal sized pizza. If you believe in yourself, you can make that happen. I've said many times before, every pizza is a personal sized pizza as long as you believe in yourself. These guys need to believe in themselves that they can make us believe that we're seeing this shit. Suspending our disbelief after that, easy for me. Easy. I'm so ready to move away from every single thing being rooted in reality. I want things to be off the chain. I want my average movie. I'm gonna bring Dolph Lundgren again because all roads just lead back to Dolph Lundgren. I want my average movie to be where a car, tries to run over Dolph Lundgren at full speed and he just jumps over it like it's no big deal. I want that in my average movie. I know some of the pretentious drinking wines with their pinky out French film people who like watching movies like Chocolate with Johnny Depp are gonna get mad at me for comments like that. I don't give a shit. You can go have your pretentious movies about your French divine finesse elsewhere. I want my movies to get so retardedly crazy. The sooner we can accept our inner retardation, the sooner we can accept a world where the condor is embraced, a world where the trapster is embraced, a world where the iguana and slide and the tarantula are all embraced, a world where the condiment king is king. Correct. Wow, Nick's really, really getting passionate about these Z-list villains. I probably put more passion to these Z-list villains than most people, but I'm proud of my passion. I am. Charlie Sheen, the Sheen Machine, would be proud of my by-winning passion when it comes to these Z-list characters. And I ain't gonna let it go, man.
It's like winning. I don't know, man. I was banging 7-gram rocks and finishing them because that's how I roll. I have one speed. I have one gear.
Go, because that's how I have one speed. Go. And I don't regret my speed. I don't regret my speed at all. I'm talking about figure of speed. But the Condor is king, right? The Condor, he should have a hot toy. He should. I would make like I would buy one of those like glass cases and put the Condor figure in the glass case Just as it would be like almost like my museum antique display, whatever it is, that would be for the Condor exclusively. I can see your point, sir, and right, we need to get the full scene to get the proper context. Here's hoping you're right, and I'm wrong about you know, and I want to be right, but I'm not ashamed to admit if I'm wrong. I'm gonna say it to you, Steven. That's the thing. I'm not afraid to admit I'm wrong on some shit. I'm not one of those guys where if I'm wrong about something, I just pretend to never talk about it again. Pretend you guys didn't hear me talk about it for 5 straight videos. Move on, carry on. No, I'm going to acknowledge it directly to you. Stephen M. Kellel, you were right. It's the least I could do for you. I know you would do the same for me in return. I don't expect that of you. I just know you're just that authentic to do that. My vulture figures at the top. Oh, see, now this guy here, Deba Man of Culture, Iron Man collection of figures, has a vulture figure on top. That, that, ooh, yeah, I love that. I love that. See, the vulture, dude, man, Deba, those vulture issues, I love those issues. Dolph, I come in peace. I'm all ears. We just defeated the first wave outbreak. What's up, Brian McCann? How you doing, man? I love seeing those comments. Oh, guys, seriously, it's so cool that you're first. But okay, we've gone off on our comic stuff and a little bit of some comic movie talk. I'll talk for about 10 more minutes. I'm gonna let you all go. I'm excited to get into Milwaukee. Last time I was there, I think it was November 2023 when I went to the Neurotic meetup. Him, his wife Melissa, X-Ray Girl. I met Tom Connors that day, and dude, it was so cool to meet Tom. Like I brought Tom this big bag of these Dots Cheetos. He brought me a Cobra Kai figure. It was like absolute like bromance in motion. It was awesome. And of course, we got a great moment during the meetup. It was a photo of me, Gary, and Tom together. I'll say, like Foghorn Leghorn, I'll say it's a pretty badass photo. If you guys haven't seen it, I'm gonna see if I can get it up for you guys. I'm gonna try to get it up because, well, if there's one thing I know Instagram doesn't like me doing, they don't like me getting it up. And you know what? That's really unfortunate because I'm trying to get them views to the page and they won't let me get it up. So I'm just going to show up the screen and show you guys what the photo is. Okay, so let's look here. Okay, I'm getting this up. Sounds gay. It probably was, to be fair. Probably was, but since Instagram won't let me show it up, if you look to my right here, you see me, Gary to my right, Tom to my left. That photo was the boys. It really was. It really was. I'm proud to say this turned out to be a great photo of us three. And I'm proud to say I met Tom in person. Like for me, that's one of the coolest things is to meet Tom. Oh, here we go. Right there. Gary on my right, Tom on my left. Sorry, I thought I had the screen up. Turns out I didn't, but you can see it right there. Dude, what a moment that was in Milwaukee, capturing us all together. And I know we went to a bar after and we went and got cheese curds too. And it was, dude, cheese curds, damn good. Damn good. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Would recommend cheese curds in Wisconsin. What a shock. I know. Oh, Nick recommended cheese curds in Wisconsin. I'll say I've been shocked and bested by that. Nick is in the meat in this. I really was. Once again, and I've told Tom this, I've said, when it comes to him and Toxic Man Flu, and it's going to get really homoerotic here, I've said, I am the meat between your guys' buns because Tom is upper Wisconsin and Tox is under me, lower of Illinois. So Tom is the top bun, Tox is the bottom bun, I'm the meat. And the more things change, the more they stay the same. You take out Tox, you put in Gary, and still I continue to be the meat between the buns. We weren't even trying. We weren't even trying. And yet here we are. It still happened very naturally. Still the meat between the buns after all this time. And Tom likes turtles. Okay, remember when I said we were going to talk about comics and done talk about comics? I lied. We got to cover one other thing really quickly before we get out of here because this is an amusing one. So, way back in the day, TMNT, there was a series called TMNT, not Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but literally called just TMNT. It was from Mirage Studios. It was written just by Peter Laird, and this series it was kind of like the planetary of the Ninja Turtles. Long waits in between individual issues, and then all of a sudden it just stopped. Like the series didn't stop; they just stopped coming out. Over a decade later, IDW is going to finally put that final arc of issues out in a book called TMNT Journeys. This is going to complete Peter Laird's run on the TMNT. And if any one of you out there don't remember the series, I'll tell you why you don't want to remember the series. Because the release schedule was bad, even for Turtles. And anyone knows Turtles comics, they usually have long waits. This was so much worse than usual for this way. Go watch Razor Fist's Razor vs. Comics TMNT video. He highlights this. And he was working at a comic shop when this was still an ongoing book. And he was dealing with the release schedule for this. We're finally getting these issues, and I can't believe it's real. But damn, more TMNT. And on top of it, good TMNT. So if you're someone who's not happy with where TMNT went with recent IDW, well, now we finally get Peter Laird's completed story from a story that was actually good. So, and it's from an OG of TMNT. And the cover's killer. Looks very old school TMNT. And they're calling it TMNT Journey. So I'm glad that this final Mirage Studio story is finally seeing the light of day over a decade later. God, guys, you really have to be that difficult? You really had to be that difficult. Chat, I'm so sorry. I see the more of you are popping on in here. And, of course, you're popping in as I got to get going to Milwaukee. But highlighting this TMNT was a big deal and super necessary because – well, we need stuff to look forward to. We need stuff to be optimistic about. Is it in color or in black and white? I think it was actually in black and white, my dude. If I remember correctly, this comic was in black and white. I'm almost positive it was in black and white. I didn't look into the stuff about it, but if I remember correctly, this comic's in black and white. Jim Lawson, by the way, really good artist. Avoid his Twitter, as Razor Fist would say. Avoid it. But he's a really good artist, and oh man, he's good. I'll say it. He is good. I swear a lot of vulgarities on that statement. He's damn good, man. But dudes, I'm so sorry. I don't want to go. I hate saying that I have to go. I feel guilty since there's more of you now in here than there was first opening of the hour, halfway into the hour. Now we're at the tipping point of the hour. But guys, unfortunately, all things do got to come to an end. So I got to get heading to Milwaukee. But hey, we had a solo stream and we made good with it. And I got to talk a lot with you guys and interact with you guys. So it's like it was almost like having a gathering of friends, hanging out and just chit-chatting about comics and such. So it was good. I like to have that engagement with you guys. And it makes it feel very personal to me. So that's the part I love about this. So, guys, seriously, have a good weekend, all of you. I will see some of you Sunday night for the tier list for Midnight's Edge. If I don't see you then, Toxic Tuesday, Young Guns 2. Otherwise, we'll be here next week for Clobby's Comic Shop next week. And D-Butt says, travel safely. I promise, man. That's a promise. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The old school one with the Eastman Laird. Now, this one's just Peter Laird. But yeah, I can't wait to have some fun. I'll probably post some stuff on Twix and YouTube about it. Keep your eyes and ears open for photos of the Alice Cooper burger. But chat, thank you for your time. Thank you for your enthusiasm, your energy, your engagement, and your absolute awesomeness. I love it when you guys take your time to hang out on the show. Even when it's a different time, earlier time, it goes against the normal time. Because, she told you to not come to the show, but yet you guys.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm going to come.
Thank you guys for coming tonight. Seriously. Thank all of you, D-Buds, Subhuman, Stephen M. Callell, Brian McCann, Mohammed Said. I'm going up the list. King Conan by Crom. Thank you, sir. Dave C. Thank you. Thank you. Jennifer Grover. Thank you for your Canadian super chat as well. Appreciate you. Deeple101. Jonathan Conroy, FKHC 2005. Appreciate all of you guys. Seriously, thank you very, very much. Yeah, reports will be happening, but this is the part where I say goodbye, good fight, and lastly but not leastly, good night. Thank you.
I smell horse shit. It's horrible, but I can smell it.